Welcome, everybody, to your least favorite podcast. My name is Mark, and I am here with all of my friends.
Steven.
Nick.
And Jake.
And I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you guys because I'm a little bit raspy. I lost my voice this weekend, and so it's going to be a little bit tough for me. I'm sorry in advance to all of my fans out there, all the people who voted for me in our poll the last time that said I was their favorite. I apologize to you. Everyone else go fuck themselves.
Yourself and your wife. Okay.
Yeah, you and your wife. That's your apologizing.
Okay.
This is the show where we just kind of talk about whatever's on our mind and what's gone on in our week. So, guys, how y'all doing? Did y'all miss me while I was gone? I just got off a 12-hour road trip like an hour and a half ago, everyone, and it was phenomenal. Great trip.
Man, he's committed to this bullshit. I don't get it.
I actually passed through a storm. That was pretty crazy, but
that was the best part of the whole road trip.
Easy trip. Didn't take. 12 hours didn't feel like 12 hours. It was pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. It feels like 25. So bad.
Dude, we've been getting them storms up in here. We just keep getting slammed by hail. Not me though. My car's in the garage.
He gets slammed in other ways.
Yeah. In the garage.
Oh, you know what show I love is the Weird Fetish show. Have you guys watched that?
No.
Is that the one where they like eat the like?
Yeah, and they have like weird
furniture?
shit. Yeah, exactly. And there's this one guy who was actually in love with his car. Like he had sex with it. He wanted to marry it. It's real weird.
Pretty good.
Great
You just
show.
have to think like people. How do they see you when you're like what is wrong with me? Why am I sexually attracted to my car? Like you got to think something's up, or do they just go with it and assume that's how everybody else is too?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you.
I don't know.
Do you have a weird fetish? Can you tell us about it, Ashley? Go ahead and tell us what your weird fetish is.
Let me find my list. Let me look. I got a few things on here. No, I don't have. Not that I know of.
Hasn't discovered it yet.
Hasn't discovered it.
Why don't you go rip open the couch cushion, see if it tastes good?
Yeah, just give everything a shot. Try everything.
Maybe you enjoy chewing on the same toys as your dog. You could go try that.
That'd be fucking disgusting.
Make sure Shannon takes a video of it.
I don't even like touching the toys. Yeah. No.
I just want to see you down there with them instead of like playing tug of war with your hands. You got to use your teeth like he does.
I feel like he does. He puts it like right up by your face, like bite it, and you try and use your hand. He's like, no, bite it.
Do it
You're
like
doing
me.
It wrong.
Do it like
what
me.
I'm doing.
It's in my mouth. Oh no.
But they don't like when you like touch their mouth though. So I'll just like touch his tongue sometimes, and he's like, eh. I used to do that with Charlie when he would like lick. You could like grab it if you're fast enough, and they really hate that if you like,
Yeah, let me grab your fucking tongue and see how much you like it.
Yeah, but I'm not just walking around licking everybody.
Why not? You might like that though.
Maybe
that's it.
Maybe
All
that's
right.
your fetish.
I promise you that if you try and lick me, I will do more than grab your fucking tongue.
Maybe that'll be a fetish. There's so many. It just
probably
goes,
just grab you
on and
right
on
in the
and on.
junk. Start going at it with you, man. Who knows?
It just goes on and on and on.
This is how you're telling me yes.
It just leads one door to the next.
I've always wanted somebody to be this forward, please.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking weird.
We actually was watching this video. They were talking about this dude. I forget what year. It was about like one of those like 1800s or whatever. But he had some kind of disease or just eating everything. Like he could never stop eating. And at some point he ended up in the military, and then they took him in for studying, and they would just feed him whatever, like garbage, regular food. Like he needed like 10 people's worth of rations. And then they even suspected when he was in the hospital that he might have eaten a baby. But yeah, that was wild. He just couldn't stop eating. But he never was like big. He'd be like your size. I don't know. It wasn't nothing they ever ran into before, and they never really figured out what was wrong with him, and then he died.
Perfect.
But it'd be like, Mark, if you just couldn't stop eating, but you never changed size. You were just always like in anything, just overwhelming hunger.
Like a version of that wasn't like outrageous. Like you didn't have to eat way too much, but being able to just eat whatever you wanted all the time would be kind of nice.
It's just
I
a
wonder how
high
much you poop.
metabolism.
Yeah, like an ultra high metabolism, but not enough to like kill you.
Yeah, I don't know what you said about pooping.
I wonder how much he pooped.
Isn't it like,
That was the other thing. Yeah, they did mention that. They said it was terrible diarrhea, and even his like sweat stunk. Like he smelled horrible. And they said that when he did have like a BM, it was like wretched, like the most vile thing they ever spent. And this was like back in the 1800s, so they're on another level. And if so, they say it's bad, it's probably worse than what we're used to. Something was wrong.
Good to know.
Yeah, I don't know how you sustain that, especially back then. Like, you just have to eat and eat everything: dirt, plants, the walls. I don't know.
my brother ate soil. He was little.
Yeah,
My sister
Mine-
fed me
mine-
cat food.
Mine too. My brother ate.
I drank perfume.
yeah,
That's
that would
What's
be
wrong
bad.
with us? Is this
I
the
know
reason we are
somebody-
the way we are?
I know somebody that liked to drink chew spit. When we were younger.
That's whatever.
What?
Yeah.
No, that was like when I was a toddler and grabbed like a can. Yeah, that's not something I did. Like,
Oh, I
while
wish you
I'm-
could see Mark's face right now. The reaction. So good.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
just
wasn't
makes me
a
wanna throw
recent
up.
thing. That's like, oh, a baby grabbed this can and
Oh, is that
drank
his
it.
It
fetish?
was like a Pepsi can. He drank the whole thing. It was full of fucking chew.
Not the whole thing.
Whole thing. Licked a lime after too.
That just helps it go
down
down better.
the hatch.
Why are you being so dramatic?
That's so gross.
You're being
disgusting.
so dramatic.
Your
so
face. I'm gonna like take a picture of your face right now and use it as like a thumbnail for this podcast.
I feel like you're overreacting.
That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it wasn't something I did on a dare. It was a little kid thing. Get off my case.
I feel like the worst I did was like my sister made me eat like cat food, like convinced me to eat cat food when I was a kid.
And now you like it?
No. And she convinced me to poop behind a tree as well.
That's right. Let it out. Tell us all the other things.
No, the way she did it is because my childhood hero was George of the Jungle. And
he would poop behind a tree. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, like legit. She's like, I had to go. We weren't supposed to be outside, but we were. And I had to go to the bathroom. And she's like, go behind the tree. I was like, no, I gotta go like number 2. She's like, go behind the tree. I was like, no, that's weird. No, that's disgusting. And she's like, George of the Jungle does it. And that's
he
it.
probably
That's
just
all I
does it
needed.
wherever. He probably doesn't even go behind the
That's-
tree.
That's all I needed. So
He probably goes
okay.
up in the tree and then does it. Just to see what it lands on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Daddy.
You all right over there, Nick?
Yeah, I'm just getting off. Do you guys talk?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
We found Nick's thing.
Yeah. That's the only
is
reason
it.
Nick does this
Talk about
podcast.
pooping behind trees.
That in the hopes of somebody giving him $3,000. That's
God,
the two
please,
reasons.
someone hurry. Give me $3,000. I need it.
I don't know about all that.
I need it multiple times, actually. That'd be great.
So
multiple people.
So this week, actually, it's been 2 weeks now. We've been starting up our Halloween horror movies. We try to watch as many as we can leading up to Halloween, and so we've been
Don't
watching
you
some of
start
the new
the
ones.
day after Halloween too?
For what?
Watching
Watching
movies.
them? No. We don't start that early. I mean, you could probably if you just watch like every single one of them, you could probably have one for every day of the year. But nah, I don't watch them all. Like, it might be controversial if you don't if you're into horror movies, there's a lot of purists that swear up and down by the originals. And I say this as a really big fan of Friday the 13th. The first one's just not my favorite. One, Jason's not even in it. So like we have to like pick and choose the ones we watch. Because the first one's his mom that kills everybody. And he's not even in it till the like next one.
Whoa! Spoiler alert! What are you
I'm
doing?
sorry, spoiler alert for like a 30-year-old movie. My bad. Maybe 40 years old because I think yeah. So whoops. But like so some of the especially like the original Texas Chainsaw, we've been going back and forth on this. It's hard to watch because it's like barely what I would expect from like a film student now. Like someone just taking a camera and filming for a project. It's pretty rough. And that one was like late 70s or 80s. But the purists will be like, that is the greatest thing ever. But it's hard to watch, man. But the new one's pretty good. Anyways, my point was we've been watching horror movies.
I mean, I feel like that's like almost anyone on like he's like super passionate about like a specific thing.
I mean, yeah, just sit them down. Let's be realistic. We'll watch
Like,
the movie. You tell me the cinematic masterpiece parts because I can't find them. I'm missing it. I understand that it introduced this genre to stuff and it's important for that.
yeah, it's more like a nostalgia / history thing, but it's not actually better. It's like old games. Like go back and play like N64 games. Like they're fun. They're really good at the time.
I, rem-
Nostalgically,
I
they're good.
I remember old games differently. They just don't look the same. When I go back, the way that I have them imagined in my head is
Yeah,
completely wrong. Like I go back and look at them, and I'm like, is this broken or something? Because it looks way worse than I remembered it looking.
and you remember, yeah, and that's. But like people will swear that those are the best games, and games nowadays suck. So
I feel like as long as they're cognizant of where they're getting their material from and they pay homage to that and do all that kind of stuff, then they can make good follow-on projects. Like there's been some good follow-up horror movies. There's been some good sequel games, but then there's been probably 10 times that were garbage. So when they try to do a reboot, it sucks. And also, when do I get a medieval video game? Because I'm waiting. Sony, make it
They
happen.
already have some.
like
No,
like
medieval.
what do you mean medieval? Like
Sir Daniel Fortescue. It's a game called Medieval. It was on the PlayStation. Maybe PlayStation 2. He's a skeleton with one eye. He can pull his head off. It's a great game, and they just kind of left it in the dust.
I mean, just because there might not be games you like, they do have medieval games.
They brought back Crash Bandicoot. Bring back Medieval.
Okay.
You know what does kind of get past that, though, with old games? When you go back to, like, the Super Nintendo or, like, the old stuff when it's, like, 2D, then they're like, okay, this is kind of timeless. I can play Tetris. Like, it'll never... Like, how do you improve on that?
They still make Tetris.
Yeah, but at the base level, you could still go back and play the original Tetris and be like, it looks pretty much how I remembered it. It's still Tetris.
into Waduku.
They have
My
a battle royale Tetris
My
now.
wife got me addicted to Waduku, and it's like Tetris and Sudoku fucking
It
combined.
sounds like something that a teacher would have you play.
Yeah, I fucking hate that game, but I can't stop playing it. So
Like educational for sure.
no, it's not educational. It's not at all.
Oh, okay. Isn't Sudoku the one with words? Oh no, that's the number one where
That's
they
the
have the
number one.
grids and they okay.
Yeah, so take out all the numbers and put Tetris pieces on that board,
Ah, okay.
and you gotta like make rows or squares.
I'm
Sounds
probably
terrible.
not gonna check that out, but
It's terrible.
I'm
like,
glad you guys like it.
No, I don't. I hate it. I hate that game so much.
I'm not even gonna Google it because
No,
of
the
how you
problem is-
described it. But
She got me playing another game, and she was like, and I started playing it like at the airport once, and I was like, oh, that looks fun. I'll download that and play that because we were at the airport forever on that trip. And she's like, yeah, my brother like said I'd never be able to beat his high score, and then I downloaded it and played it until I beat it. and like her high score was like 300 something, and like he quit playing the game after that. I was like, cool, and I started playing it, and then like one day I like didn't just beat her high score, I like absolutely demolished her high score, and she stopped playing that game.
That's rude.
Why are you ruining everything?
But then she challenged me to like beat her score on Wadoku, and I can't. That game sucks. But I have to keep playing it until I beat her high score.
Did you ever beat my score on that? You remember the jump game with the little ball? I still play that when I go to the airport because it doesn't
Yeah,
need
no,
an
I
internet
never beat that
connection.
one. I thought about re-downloading that one.
It's still, I keep it on my phone all the time because it works without an internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
So does any Apple Arcade game too, though. So
Yeah, but I mean,
you have
I've
to
just
you have
gotten
to
used
pay
to
for
that one.
Apple Arcade.
I need a game.
I just play like Bloons Tower Defense. I don't know.
No,
It's just
no.
like
See, this game's
that,
good because
Solitaire,
it takes.
and Plague. The
Yeah,
one where
all
you
the
keep the
games you
goal.
described have a long setup. This game I can literally turn on in like 5 seconds and be playing, and then if I get pissed off and shut it off, like I can turn it on and off at all times and be just straight into the game.
So
I don't
good.
have to like level it or like play it for a long time for something to happen.
Solitaire, bud.
Yeah, I've played Solitaire. That takes a long time.
No, it doesn't.
The only app that I've ever purchased, and I've gotten more than my money's worth off it, was like $5, but I got a Game Boy Advanced emulator. And so like I have like Pokemon Fire Red and like Fire Emblem
Do
and
you
like
have
Golden
Tetris?
Sun. No, I don't have Tetris. Because I could just
You need
get
to
that
get
as an
that
app.
Tetris. Yeah, get
Tetris
Tetris.
sucks. I did go down a rabbit hole and watch like the Tetris World Championships though.
Oh my
Those guys are
God.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is very crazy.
They're like boom, 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 just like always dropping shit and like lining up the next one, and then they'll go on like the droughts, they like to call it, for like the long 4 straight piece or whatever to get their Tetris. But
I
it's
think
like not good.
everybody-
Like they won't take the free one lines. Like that's not the point for them. Like it's as many Tetrises. Like I never realized that's what that's called. Like getting 4 lines in a row is a Tetris. That's like the actual thing.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's why the game is called Tetris. So
I
like
feel like you made that up.
that's why if you ever watch them like cast it, like I'm sure if you watch them do like the World Championships, they always say like Tetris, Tetris, another Tetris, Tetris. Like they're always saying Tetris is when they do the 4.
Yeah, I
Why does
didn't listen.
everything got to be like hyper competitive? Just enjoy the game.
It's more fun that way.
No, it's not.
A lot of
Sucks
people
the
are
fun out of
extremely
it.
competitive.
Well, quit it.
You're just not a competitive person.
And that's okay, Ashley. We still accept you.
It's okay to suck. All right, it's fine.
Yeah. Everybody else just ruining all my fun because they got to be like the best, the most optimized. They got to be at the top of the pile.
You're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah,
This was all. This is actually
You're
an
at the
intervention.
wrong podcast for that, buddy.
You are definitely outnumbered in that category.
I mean, it just doesn't work with my personality. I don't like being competitive.
I love
I've-
competing, but I also like to not like. I hate when people take it like too seriously, to a point. I guess. Like you should never like cry or get angry for losing. Like take your losses.
Just be a loser.
Get better for next time. Like just get better.
See, I don't have to worry about that.
I mean,
If I lose, I don't care. If I win, I don't care.
I mean, coming from a martial art, like that's like a big thing. Like this past weekend, I was at a big martial arts tournament, and like you don't have bad sportsmanship there. If you have bad sportsmanship, like if you pitch a fit or something, then like you get kicked out. Like there's no
What's
bad
the threshold?
sportsmanship.
Could I have like a little bit of bad sportsmanship?
It's real little. Like you have to like have it to yourself over in the corner. But if
I'm
it
just gonna
leaks
go in the
out,
corner and start like punching myself. Fuck.
no,
Stupid.
no. Like no, you can't even do it like that much. It like literally has to be like verbally whispering bad things to yourself, so that like nobody knows what you're doing.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I thrive off of impacting other people.
You're telling me I can't scream "fuck" as loud as possible when I mess
Yeah,
No,
up?
I'll be like
in
the
like a
friendliest
traditional
guy.
martial art competition, like that won't work.
I'll be like the friendliest guy at the thing. Be like, good game, dude. Good job. You did good. Those some good hits. Everything's good. Then I'll just go in the corner and be like, you stupid idiot. You're so stupid. God, you're the worst.
I mean, that'd be fine. That'd be okay. Yeah, as long as it's like
I
away
just
from other people.
I just like build people up and then I go say the most like horrible self-depreciating stuff I can. They'd be
No,
like,
you
honestly,
guys did
that's
very
really
well. You guys did
You have to
good.
build other people up. Like if you don't, like if the problem comes whenever like people start like throwing things or like not congratulating their competitors for doing well. That's whenever like in the traditional martial art world it gets like very frowned upon.
Take your own arm and snap it in half over your leg. Shake the guy's hand and then walk away.
See, that's what's wrong with the world.
Good job, man.
They're like,
Good job.
as long as you tell me I did a good job, I don't care how you're doing. You're the loser. Go stand in the corner. I don't care what happens after that.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, don't throw stuff. I don't like when people break things. I care more about like objects than most people, so I always
Is
hate
that
that in
true?
movies when they have like this like some old like structure like a temple or an old mansion and they start like shooting the place up. I'm like, take it outside. Jesus, you're breaking all these valuable, irreplaceable artifacts. Like, God, go outside. I don't like that in movies. It bugs the shit out of me. What do these inanimate objects ever do to anybody? So I understand it.
You're such a weird dude. I swear.
I mean, what did it
Just
didn't
such
do
a weird
anything.
dude.
It's
You don't
fine.
ever think that in a movie when they're just breaking stuff?
No, I don't ever think that. Like,
Dude, it bugs me so much. They like destroy a city. I mean, I remember watching this interview with an insurance adjuster, and he was going over like Batman and Superman when they're like destroying entire cities, and he was like breaking down how they pay that out, like how they would, in theory. He's like, this would be like a terrorist attack level of an insurance claim. Like there's certain thresholds for certain stuff, but like why they gotta be destroying things that take forever to build?
You know.
I was kind of related back to like when they do the
probably the same reason they're like a bad guy and or monster to like begin with. Like
yeah, but you
if
didn't need to
it's like a
break stuff.
monster like looking for food.
You didn't ever need to break stuff. See, I think I have a weird
Like if you took your dog, right, like made like a Lego city, right, and then put like treats in like every window, you tell me your dog wouldn't go and like just straight up destroy that city to get those treats?
I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't, but I don't think
There you
it's
go. All
necessary.
right, so that's your monster. That's your like how else would he get the treat? It's
With
like
some
deep
fat,
in the. Like you can't fit in those buildings. All right.
then he doesn't need them.
And then you have like Superman and Batman, like you brought up. Like the Joker's just a psychopath. Like he doesn't care.
No, I mean like the Superman they did where he's fighting Zod, and then they like tied into it with the Batman movies where he's just like throwing him through buildings and shit. Like you could have taken this to like the Sahara where there's nothing, and they could fly pretty fast. They could get there.
I mean, they could, but like, if Superman's weakness is trying to protect people,
He's
what do
doing a
you
bad
think
job.
General Zod is gonna attack? Right?
I mean,
Like, all right, let's say like I'm coming to set fire to your house right now.
I'm not
Okay,
saying
are you
that they
gonna like
shouldn't.
throw me in the car, drive to the Sahara, and then fight me? No, you're gonna fight me
I'm
right there
just
because you
I'm
can't
just
just move
saying
me.
they could do it better. I
Yeah,
can't
why don't you
stop
get
it.
superpowers and then you go do it better?
I can't
Okay,
stop it. I'm just
go
saying it
jump
bugs
in
me.
some radioactive something or another, and you get powers and you do it better.
I'll
know
do it
what?
better. I'll be
I'm
like
going to-
catching the vases. Stop! Don't break that. Nope. And then they'll be like killing the civilians. I'm like, that's fine. Just don't touch this. This thing's very old. Like one ancient or several 100-year-old object has survived all these decades. Sure, get rid of the person that's been around for 20 years. They haven't been around that long. They won't miss it. The object has been here for a long time. Like it's earned its place.
It's earned it. Is that a pun? It's earned. Just like a vase, like an old.
Yeah, if it
urn.
was like a vase
Earned
from the
its
Ming
place.
Dynasty, that thing has. It's like
You
when
can't
they have
get it.
these. They've been having these.
earned its place.
They've been having this issue with
So
people.
fucking disappointed in you right now. So fucking disappointed.
I have these people that have been defacing like the Colosseum, and like, where does a person get off like defacing some ancient structure? Like, I mean, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because that shit'll just
Exactly, they
fade
get
away.
off to it. It's their fetish, man. All right, don't shame them.
I mean, I guess, but all these things, I kind of, every time I think about that kind of stuff, it reminds me of what's it, Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's like, there's like less in the world, and the more you start like destroying these old things or like screwing up stuff like that, like it just takes more and more of it out. That's kind of how I look at it. That was deep, right? Very deep.
Sure.
But I also look at I like with the exploring when they go into the urban exploring stuff. That's always cool. You see some random like old mine and there's junk down there. It's like, oh, look at this bottle. Somebody put this bottle here at one point. And what's the story behind this bottle that's just laying in a mine that hasn't been touched in 100 years?
So you didn't want to stop mining, so he peed in that bottle.
I mean, but that's the story. Let's hear that story.
Nick, what do you think about all this?
I'm not paying attention. What? You guys lost me whenever you used to start rambling. I don't.
I that's what I'm here for. I can do that infinitely.
Yeah, I just stopped listening though.
Yeah.
I relate this back to movies. It's why
Put it all of our listeners. It's all right.
I will not be watching the newest
Say about
Jurassic
whatever
Park.
you want. Only Sam's gonna get it.
I've been just going back and forth on this. Big fan of Jurassic Park. I'm not gonna watch the new one. I made the decision because I don't think it's good. And the second reason is they're not on the island anymore. There was the
Wait,
history.
what do you mean the new one? Like the last one?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. The one where they brought the cast back from the original one.
It was
That was
very
the
good,
only.
though.
That was the only
enjoyed
reason
it
I was
a lot.
thinking of watching it. But after they blew up the
Weren't you
island,
just like complaining about purists and like watching like a 30-year-old movie?
yeah, and I also said that I'm
So-
gonna just remember it the way I remember it, and by not watching the new one, that's how I do that. It'll just be for me. I'll just remember it. I'll remember the good times.
You're never gonna watch like the old ones again then?
No, I can watch those. I just stop at like 3.
I've still never seen 2.
You never seen The Lost World?
Yeah, I never saw 2. I saw 1, I saw 3, and then I saw like the new ones, which I liked.
They
a
would
lot.
consider like the first one and the second one the best ones, and then 3 is like a drop off.
You know what? I actually watched 3 first. Like that was the first one I watched. So 3 was actually kind of my favorite.
I mean, I don't think it's bad. 3 was because they did them off of books. The first one's like the first book, second one's the second book, and then the third one's like whatever was left from the books after they made 2 movies out of them.
Same thing with Ninja Turtles. Actually, only ever like we had the second and third Ninja Turtle movie, and so like whenever I watched the first one as an adult, I kind of hated it.
You mean the one with the big foam suits?
Yeah,
The
like
live action one?
the live action ones, the original live action ones.
Nah, man, Power Rangers all the way. And they were about that time. You're either Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles, so take your pick. I chose mine.
Well, everyone, y'all can take y'all's pick in this week's poll: Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles. My vote's Ninja Turtles all the way. This has been your least favorite podcast. Yeah. See you guys next week when I have my voice back.